Now it's time for my next special guest. Now we have an artist now joining me on my show here in England. We have Leah DeSalle. Welcome to my show.
Thank you very much for having me.
And first up, how are we doing on this fine day?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day.
It's great to hear after everything that's happened the last 2 years. Now we are going to talk about your exciting new release of your single "Bird."
Yes. Um, yeah.
And
Um,
how excited are you with this record?
I'm excited. The song came out in March, but we did a remix package recently with Charlie Hedges, Daniel Craig, Shosh, and Wilson. So we have three remixes for the song. It's very exciting. It's cool listening to your music under other people's interpretation of it. Yeah.
And growing up, was music always something that ran in your family?
Yes, I'm from a very musical family. My dad was in a boy band in the 90s. Um, and my mom is a dancer, and they met in a dance party. So every music was always a part. And I've been making music, I've been singing, performing in school since the first grade. And when I was 8, I decided this is what I was going to do with my life.
Marvelous. And your new single "Bird" is a follow-up to previous release "Sad Teenage Flower."
Satin Age Flower has been released. This is the new single. Bird has already been released.
Okay, and
Um,
with "Bird," it's a nice dreamy little pop number, isn't it?
yes, it's a nice song. It's the melody and the music of it is very uplifting, but the words are pretty sad. I think it's talking about wanting to fly away and wanting to be somewhere else when you can't. And I've been very connected to that recently.
Do you think in the lyrics there's a little bit of escapism in there as well?
I guess so. Yeah, it was my way of seeing a different light in the situation and finding an escape through music. 100%. Yeah.
And you mentioned you got um, numerous versions of the song. So with the original track is 1 minute 59 seconds, which is very quite short for a record, but is very radio friendly in length. Did it take long to put together because it's such a short song?
It's I believe it's 2 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes. Okay.
Um, yeah. No, it's just because I didn't want a lot of words in the song. I just wanted it to have a feeling. So I said the words that I wanted to be said. I said what I like meant in the song. But then I think the music took over, which is what I wanted to feel. You know.
That's fair enough. And the Charlie Hedges and Eddie Craig remix, it's great. You have that version as well. Has slight elements of drum and bass dubstep.
Yeah. It's an electronic remix. It's good. I really love jungle and drum and bass music, and I think that it's cool hearing my voice in a song with that version.
And what does it feel like if it's played in a club, or you hear the feedback from someone who's kind of danced to it, or you've seen someone dance to it? What's that feeling like?
Well, I'll update you when I get that feeling because it hasn't happened yet. But it's pretty cool knowing that people are playing it on the radio and that people are listening. And
Well,
yeah,
hopefully the DJs out there who may be listening to the interview can add that to their collection and get that spun in the clubs around the world.
yeah, I'd love for that to happen.
And the Wilson remix, that goes a bit funky housey.
Yeah, uh, yeah. I think it was really cool getting a couple people on it and a couple people to put their version and their like musical style on the song that was already formed, and it was really cool to see their interpretation.
And are you all on social media where people can follow you and see
Yes.
for updates when new material is eventually released?
Well, I have Instagram, and my Instagram is Lia Desau, which is LIADSAU. And I have a website, liadesau.com, which is the same. And any updates and any new stuff, hopefully soon, will be on those places.
And finally, before we wrap up, is there anything you may just like to say to listeners and your fans?
Well, thank you very much for listening, and I hope that you'll listen and hear from me more.
Well, thank you very much for your time today. I think that's everything I wanted to ask you, but hopefully it may get you back on the show in the future. Meanwhile, we're going
Yeah.
to give the listener a little taste of your new record now, which is Bird, on my show. Thanks very much for joining me.
Thank you very much.